substitute x equals 30, and then you're just multiplying 3 times 30. That's all you're doing. Well, I'll write that down. So again, it's just substitute and solve for 19. Okay, here we go. For our class, grade-wise, we went up to 21. So if you have up to 21, I'm going to give you you're going to get full credit for the class activity. The class activity is making sure you get all the notes. Or, actually, I'll be a little nicer. If you missed anything during, let's say you missed anything because you were late or whatever, if you complete it by the end of Stinger 2, I'll give you full credit. All right, so I'll be even a little nicer. All right. So, again, really quick, 11A, bisector. Bisects. Think about the mirror. You see that word bisector? Mirror. We're talking about perpendicular bisector, angle bisector, segment bisector. Because we're going to see that again momentarily with bisector. So 21 or 11A, we just wanted this angle right here. This is the angle we were looking for, COA. Now, we need this information for the following problem. Listen up. Adrian, that includes you. Take a minute. Well, I see those things in your ears. That don't mean you. It goes to everybody else, unless otherwise. I'm told otherwise. Okay. Bisector mirror. Now, both of these angles are going to be 19. If you go to the next problem, you know that this angle is 19. You have a mirror. That means this other angle, which we found out from before, was also 19. Now, they want the measure of BOA. BOA. So BOA, is that one part of the angle or is that the entire angle? BOA. So if we start at B, where do we go next? If we're starting at B, where do we go? What letter? Well, BOA. We start at B. What's the next letter? Gotta follow the order. O.
And then A.
So that's the entire angle. So if it's the entire angle, what do we have to do with the 19s? Add them together. So you add them together, 19 plus 19. 19 degrees plus the other 19 degrees. What's our grand total?
38.
38 degrees. That's what we need to do. We need to highlight information that's given to us Remember, with your angles, think about it like a road map. A lot of you are going to start driving soon. The road map. Think about the road map. The letter B is your starting point. Your final destination is A, but we just can't go from B to A like this. No road. We have to go from B to O, and then from O up to A. And going forward, especially when we start dealing with a lot more finite angles inside, like your parallelograms or triangles and all that, you have to look at the order of your letters. And also, when we're talking about congruent triangles, what did we say mattered the most? What word? Order. Order matters. You all know how many times have I said that now? Too many times. All right. Questions? The bisector, mirror. That's what you have to think about. Bisector, you're going to see that again. Midpoint. Whenever you have a midpoint, that's a segment bisector. So again, your point can act like a mirror. Here's your mirror. So your midpoint acts like a segment bisector. It splits the big segment into two smaller equal segments. So in this case, what do we know about the relationship? If M is your midpoint, then what's the relationship then from X to M, and then again from M to Y? What's that relationship? Very good. They're equal. Midpoint. Second smaller. Midpoint, that's it, right in the middle. Both sides are equal. So that right there is your clue. Again, a lot of it is clues. Look at the context. Now, are we at a point where we can solve for our variable x? Can we solve for x at this point? We said the two sides were equal, so we can solve for the x. Because here's your equation right here. Boom. 2x plus 7, 5x minus 11. You set them equal to each other. Your x's are on opposite sides. So if they're on opposite sides, well, we need to move a couple of terms. So there's one of two options you can use for your first move. Who could tell us what an option might be for the first move? What term do you want to move first? Okay, to what? So if I just move it, what sign do I need? The minus. Opposite sign. 5x minus 2x is? What's 5 minus 2? And then what's our next step? Plus 11, good. What's 7 plus 11?
18.
Okay, so we have 18 equals 3x. So if 18 equals 3x, then x must equal what number? So how do we solve for x? What's our last step? That's it. That should be an automatic by now. Automatic. X equals 6. All right. So what's going to happen now? Once you get your x equals 6, basically for the next 2 problems, you're just going to plug and chug. That's what you're going to do for the next few minutes. So take your x equals 6, plug and chug. So give you about 2 minutes to solve for it. Now, with the x equals 6, the first problem on the next page, they just want either segment. They just want either segment because we know that both segments are going to be the same measure. So we just want 1/2 of the overall segment first, and then the other half. Remember, you can put it in either one of these. So in either case, what would be the length of either of those smaller segments? Who got it? Okay, Joey's saying 19. Okay, remember, you already solved for x. You don't have to solve for it again. I mean, you can solve for it again if you want, but you don't have to. It's going to be 19 in both cases. So both of those guys are going to be 19. Now, they just wanted either xm or my, one or the other. However, the following question, what do I want? Do I want just either part or do I want the entire thing? XY, is that just one part or is that the entire thing? You gotta tell me. XY. Is it the entire distance? It's going to be the entire distance, yeah. You got to add them up. XY, that's the entire distance. But we know both parts. Got to add them up. Whatever you miss, get from a neighbor, okay? All right. Now, so what's going to happen with this type of problem? I may just tell you, solve for x, and then I may just have you do one, not both. But I'm not going to tell you if it's just one section or the entire thing. You will get a problem like 12A, B, or C. Well, 12A you'll definitely get. I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a problem like this. So you should star this problem. Star it. You're going to get a problem like that on a midterm, I'm guaranteeing you. Or the midpoint test. And then, of course, once you get your value of x, substitute. But again, look at whether or not I'm giving you just a section, a portion of this segment, or the entire thing. That's the difference. Here, one of the two sections. Here, entire thing. And the next couple problems, it's going to be the same. Basically, am I giving you a section or the entire thing? RS, 21. Here's from R to S, 21. S to T, 25. Now, R to T, is that the entire thing or one piece? R to T. It's the entire thing. You know, R to T goes the whole way across. We didn't want the entire one. Well, what are you going to do with the 21 and the 25? Just add them up. RT is just going to be the sum. And what you could always do for problems like these, do you see the entire distance? Split it into the two smaller parts. You can always do that. And it's going to be important, especially for the next problem. In this case, all you do, just add them up. What's 21 plus 25? You add them up, what do we get? 46. So RT is going to be 46. All right, now, for the other part. Now, here's the difference. RT, they said, was the entire distance, which is 51. And they also said ST is 29. What are we trying to find? Which one? Is it a block? What are we trying to find in this case? RS. This area here. That's what we need to find. Now, we can always do this. Remember, we always said RT, the entire distance, is RS plus ST. We agree to that, right? The entire distance is the sum of the two smaller parts. We agree? Think about it like driving anywhere. You go a certain distance, remaining amount, add them up. Now, in this case, if we want the RS, what are we going to do with the 51 and 29? subtract, yeah. A lot of you made that mistake on the test. You added them. You gotta subtract. You have to subtract 51 minus 29. And if we do that, what do we get? 22. Our answer would be 22. Two is our S. Okay, questions? All right. Now, the last thing. Supplementary angles. Again, we have two angles that are supplementary. What must they add up to equal? How many degrees? 180. Supplementary, add up to 180. So you're going to add these up to 180. Now here's the deal. For the last three problems, after this first hint, you're going to do the last three. So I gave you the first hint. So for 14A, what do you need to do? What's the only thing you're asked to do for 14A? Determine the value of, you just have to self-correct. That's part one. So I'm going to let you do that right now. Just going to write over here. And then for 14B and C, the very last two questions, you're going to find each individual angle. I'm going to have you all try that for the rest of the period. If you get that done, then depending on how much time is left, you can work a little bit on your project. And then I'll also look at your packet to make sure you completed it, so then I'll give you full credit. Okay? So I'm going to have you all do that. I'll post the answers for the last couple of momentarily, but I want you to work on these right now. But you're going to do the rest on your own. So solve for X for 14A, 14B, get the angle on the the left, I'm sorry, and then 14C, angle on the right. So let you all do that for the rest of the period. All right, Dennis, that includes you. I got to say a word, buddy. So I'll come around momentarily.
We have to solve for the X.
That's step one, for 14.8, solve for the x first. Once you get your value of x, then you're gonna plug it in.
Okay.
Step one, solve for that x first. And if you're finished, then if you're finished, momentarily, I'm gonna start coming around, making sure you did it. And then you get full credit. You don't have time to, I'm gonna talk about this a little more, don't think of through it, but if you want me to look at your work, see what you're doing, let me know.
Can you do it? Let me look at your
Okay, remember, this is the equation you use again for x percent.
He wants to make it feel.
It's not gonna be that one, you gotta use this one. And then from there, that's gonna help. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, sir. No, did you get those last year? Can I check them out, please? Yeah, just go ahead. Okay. All right, you want me full credit?
Mister, can you come help me?
Sure, Cindy, in 2 seconds, I'll be right there. Okay, you're on the same side, Cindy, so think about pockets. Combine what's in your deep pockets. So you got $4 in one pocket, you got $2 in the other pocket. How many dollars do you have in total?
Okay.
So rather than subtracting 2x, you're gonna combine the 4x plus the 2x. Yeah, you got it.
Help us to solve
Use
it.
that substitute for x and y. You can do it one at a time, yeah. This one, you're gonna do this side first, and then the very last problem, you're gonna do the other side.
Should I combine them here?
All right, no, just where are we right now?
Now I do
Okay, all right, Michael, I'm gonna count this as special grade.
You have to combine.
All right.
So I put minus 6.
Six X. Alright, that's good.
Where do I put the 6?
Keep going.
Six X.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 17.
All right,
That's seven.
and, you know what, I know you guys are good. Thank you.
17 plus 7.
24. Where do I put the 24?
Anybody else, how do we do over here? You two finish up?
That's mine.
Yeah. Flip it over.
24.
Okay. I know you got it. You got the other one. But I'm just gonna do quick. Keep going. Alright. Oh, what's going? And I know you're gonna be good. Alright, so that's, alright, both of you. Okay, you're still working on it?
Oh, the last two are finished.
Okay,
I'm working on the ones that missed all of them.
alright, yeah, hurry up, get those done. You're good, and so is it good.
minus 24.
I'm working on these. I have these three left.
Okay, knock them out.
I didn't say 400.
Alright,
I said 150.
okay, what are we up to? Okay, what happened was, 4x and 2x are on the same side. You have to combine those terms. So, yeah, you set them equal to each other, but you can't do that. Remember that whole equation equals 180. All right, really quick. Heads up. All right, I know you're All right, real quick, here's what's going on.
Okay,
You gotta-
answer. What do I do?
Okay, you're gonna plug them in, so what's gonna happen? You get your x equals 26, you're gonna plug. So here, ladies and gentlemen, real quick. When all is said and done, you should get 6x plus 24 equals 180. You can check at home, but you get an x is 26. Then you plug your x equals 26 into the first expression. 4 times 26 plus 7, you'll get 111. And then you keep that x equals 26 for the very last problem. Plug it here. Then you do 2 times 26 plus 17, or 52 plus 17, 69. Now, you could have also done it the cheaper way. You knew this was 111. This angle is 180 minus 111. So that's the other way you could have gotten 69 as well. All right. I do apologize, we didn't get much to the project. So before you go, you're good, Eric.
Yeah, finished.
All right, you finish. All right, just finish it up when you're back. Make sure we did. I think we're good. What back part? Okay, that's fine. All right.
I almost finished.
We're gonna, because I'll be up here. All right, I'll see you in a few. You're coming right back here. All right.
Holding.
Yes.